So good morning, everybody, and welcome again to The Good Life with Steve. I'm Steve, and I woke up this morning and realized I don't have very much food in the house, and so I got to make a quick grocery store run. Now, people often ask and wonder whether or not food is better outside of the country than it is where you are, particularly for those of us who are from the U.S. We say that all the time. Food is horrible, food is poison, and, well, sometimes you're right. But actually, well, sometimes you get the same thing down here. So I figure better than me trying to just tell you what it is, I will just show you what it is. So I'm going to make a quick grocery run. I'm going to take you along with me. Climb aboard. Let's go. Okay, guys, let's get this show on the road. So we're just exiting my apartment complex right now. Thankfully, it's a gated entry place, so we don't get a lot of riffraff running up and down or in and out. We're leaving the neighborhood now. Houses on the left, and we're going to pull out to a main drag here. On the left, you're going to see what's that? McDonald's. On the right, the gray building. That's where I buy tires, and I bought a set of tires for my car and get my oil change and all that stuff. This is the Goodyear service center. So we're going to pull out on the main drag here. If you turn right and go like maybe 25-30 minutes down the road, you're going to hit the next main city, which is going to be La Vega. But if you go like 3 hours, you're going to hit Santo Domingo, which is the capital city down here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a U-turn right up here. They put these U-turns on the highway here, which is really convenient, so you don't have to get off, go over the bridge, and then get back on and do all that. You can just do a U-turn here and then keep it moving, head back in the opposite direction. It's a rainy morning, so the traffic is light. It's 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Sunday morning here, and with rain, traffic's light. On the right, you see that blue building? That's Holmes Hospital connected to it. That's the hotel, the Radisson Inn, I think is what it's called. So these two buildings are connected. Just after we pass this white part that's jutted out, you're going to see a bridge that connects the two. So if you're hospitalized at Holmes Hospital, you can have your family visit you and stay in the hotel and just walk across the bridge and visit you in the hospital. It is supposedly rated #1 in the country. I just visited the hospital, so I got some stuff to share with you guys regarding the hospital. Very, very well kept, very well done. But anyway, this road is normally packed, jam full with people going to and from work and doing whatever they're doing. But it's Sunday morning, raining a.m., so people aren't out yet. On the right here, this gray building, this is a tire place, and I didn't think about it. I probably should have checked for tires there. I may have saved a few bucks, but I bought them at the Goodyear place that I just shared with you a moment ago. On the left here, this big yellow building, this is the grocery store. This is La Sirena. This area here, that's the drop-off area, pickup area also, where people, employees, or whatever, they're going to and from work. But we're going to whip it in right here. This big sign that you see, that's going to show you a few other businesses that are located inside of the building. For instance, there's a McDonald's, there's Claro, there's Altis. Claro and Altis, those are a couple of cell phone companies that are really, really popular down here. I use Claro, that's why, and I pay like $17 a month for my monthly service, so yeah, it's a good savings. So as we're entering the parking lot here, you're gonna see that it's not very filled or not very full because again, it's morning, it's raining, and it's Sunday. Come here any other time of day, it's jam-packed. So luckily for me, I'm doing this in the morning just to pick up a couple of things. Now, I'm a single guy, guys, so don't look for me to be buying a lot of groceries, okay? I'm not doing big hauls. I did that when I first got here to, stock my, what do you call it? My kitchen, refrigerator, and all that. But I don't need to do that over and over again, right? I do that, every 6 months or so. Other than that, I'm just picking up a few items like I'm doing today. See all these SUVs? Everybody, well, I say everybody, but a lot of people drive SUVs down here. They are probably more popular than they are back in the States. And for good reasons. The streets are rough. They got potholes here, a foot deep, right? Anyway, let's take this on inside. So as we enter the building here, you'll see the shopping carts on the left. You'll see Altis. Claro is a red sign. The blue one just further down is not open yet. That's Altis. They work banker's hours, I guess. But anyway, we're going to grab a cart and we're going to take this on inside. As we're entering here, yeah, they got these things here. So if you guys are into shoplifting, you're going to have a problem. Okay, they're going to bust you, right? And you don't want to get in trouble down here. But you can buy all kinds of things here. You can things down here. On the right, you see that you have appliances, and if you go further to the left, there's aisles that go down on the left. We're not going to go that way. You can buy refrigerators, you can buy stoves, washers and dryers, you can buy sofas and love seats, you can buy paint for your home, you can buy what else is there? There's bedding. So if you need to buy a mattress and box spring, you can do that. And you can see the prices on these things. Like right here, the price on that refrigerator is around 35,000 pesos. So divide that by 60. That's going to put you at about what? 600 and about 600 bucks, somewhere thereabouts. But we're going to head on over here because I eat a lot of watermelon down here. A couple of reasons, okay? One is that it's refreshing. Two is that it's hydrating because I drink a lot of water and I want to take in a lot of water while I'm down here. But what I don't know how to do is to pick the best ones. But I got this information from a guy when I was back in the States as I was looking. He seemed to be pretty familiar. He said, think of it like guys who like big butts. So if you like a big butt, think of your watermelon like that. You want to get a watermelon with a big butt. And what he meant by that is you want to get that yellow space, that yellow or white space on the bottom, on the back side, that's where it sits on the ground. And he says that the larger that space is, the sweeter and the more water it'll have in it, because that's the area, that's the amount of area that is sitting on the ground. Like think about your tires, the more of your tire that sits on the ground, and it's actually a very small area when you consider the entire tire and the weight of your car. But anyway, the more of that tire that sits on the ground, the more traction you have. Well, the bigger the butt on the watermelon, the juicier it's going to be. So big juicy butts is what we're looking for, I guess. But anyway, so I grabbed that one, and as it turns out, that one was another good choice. Before I knew that, I was just guessing. Now I missed something here because this was something that was on my shopping list. You see right there on the right, you see just those few lemons right there. It was just so few that I missed them because I was looking further down to where the limes are, because they're always down there. They're always down further next to the oranges, right? So don't know how I missed them. My camera looked right at them, but my eyes didn't for whatever reason. But limes are a lot more popular down here. But I buy lemons because it's a flavor that I'm much more familiar with, and two, because lemons actually have more vitamin C than limes. Anyway, I did pick up half a dozen oranges while I'm here because I always do. Now, they're good for I use those in my smoothies. But I wanted to show you guys this, okay? Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there. But check this out. You can get 30 eggs here for 215 pesos. So divide that by 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. So that's about $3 and change, right? So yeah, about a little $3.50, call it that. $3.25, don't matter, but around $3 for 30 eggs. Now I know there was a thing going on with eggs in the States. I don't know if that's still going on. There's so much going on back there. Every day it seems like there's a new crisis, right? But I don't know what you guys are paying for eggs now. Are you still paying $9 for a dozen of eggs there back in the States? I know that's what my sister told me eggs were in Atlanta, Georgia, way back in like April, May. But like I say, you guys have a crisis it's like the crisis of the day, whatever's happening over there. So I don't know. But what I did is I'm looking right now for eggs because I was looking for them on that same shelf. With that brand, because they are a cheaper brand, and you can go over here and you can get a dozen eggs. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still looking over here on this other shelf. Yeah, I'm still looking on that shelf. That's Walla. But you come over here and you get these are like the designer eggs is what I call them, right? But an egg is an egg is an egg, as long as it got all the things that is necessary to create life, and that's why I eat them, because that means I get all of that stuff. But as you can see here, you can get a dozen eggs for 65 pesos. So that's about $1, like $1.10 roughly, So $1 for a dozen, $1 a dozen will do you. So there you go. Tell me if that compares to, or how that compares to what you're paying in the city you're in, so that we get a feel for the cost of things in the States across the country. Now I'm going to grab a plastic bag here because I just need to get a couple of bell peppers. I have onions in the at home already, and I wanted to make my omelet because I eat two egg omelets in the morning, so I need bell peppers for that. So I'm going to grab a red one and a green one. Now, silly me, I went ahead and put them in the same bag. She separated them once I checked out. But you can see there are 83 cents a pound. So 83 cents a pound is about $1.25 a pound. How does that compare in the States? Okay, I don't think food is going to be the place where you save the most money. Now, at the grocery store, it is less expensive than it is if you buy at a grocery store like this, than if you buy it at like one of the small stores, supposedly. But when they see that you are a gringo, you're going to pay a different price. It'll be a different price every time you go in because you're a gringo and you don't know. They're going to assume you don't know anyway. Or if you buy them at like a fruit stand. However, there is a fruit stand that I do frequent. I didn't go there today because it's this is on a Sunday and they're not there on Sundays. They certainly won't be there in the mornings. They're there during the week. So if I pick up a watermelon there, they're less expensive there than if I buy one here at the grocery store. But I don't have any at the house, so I went ahead and bought one here. But this is 83 cents, not cents, but pesos for a pound. Now here's what's interesting. This is in pounds, but everything else down here is metric. So if you're driving on the street, the speed limit that you see, not that anybody abides by it, but the speed limit that you see is that's going to be in kilometers. If you're driving somewhere, it's going to be measured in kilometers, right? But for whatever reason, this food is in pounds. So make that make sense, okay? It should be in kilograms, and it will be cheaper, but whatever. Anyway, like I said, I put both of these in the same bag, and when I got to the checkout counter, she separated them because, they got to be rung up separately. But but they're both 83 pesos per pound. So I figured, silly me, what do I know? I should have gotten the yellow one instead of the green one, but I still like the green ones anyway. My omelet turned out just fine. Now, you know how when you go into the grocery store in the produce section, you can get these things right here, right? These packages like spring mix or whatever, and I think that's what this is, sweet baby lettuce, right? So if you buy this, you're gonna pay like $6-7 or somewhere thereabouts for this little thing of what is it? How much is that? 310 pesos. Divide that by 60, so that's gonna be about $5 for that small, and that's a very small thing, guys, of lettuce. Now, if you'll just come right over here to the next door, if you do this much work, go over here and open this door, you're going to spend 37 pesos per pound, which is like 50 cents per pound, because the actual exchange rate is like 62.9. So 50 cents a pound for this. And when you get it in this package, you're going to get two of these. I want to call this a head of lettuce, but I think when I say head of lettuce, in my mind, I'm thinking of iceberg lettuce because it's that round head, right? And that's all we ever bought when I was a little kid. We couldn't afford lettuce like this if we got lettuce at all, right? But anyway, we were eating whatever the government gave us. So that's how that worked out. But anyway, that's a much better expenditure of your money than to buy it already broken up for you, that prepackaged stuff. Now this juice here, now it looks nice and tasty. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. It's a cheaper brand that you can buy down here. It's called Walla, like the eggs I showed you, but eggs are eggs, so it didn't matter. I used to buy the designer eggs, and now I buy the Walla because I say, let me give it a shot. It tasted just fine. I haven't tried this brand of juice, okay? But I bought the ice cream and it was horrible. I ate one spoon and threw the whole thing away. But so I'm gonna try that one day. I'm gonna get just maybe one of those small ones tried and just to see. I didn't do it today. I keep telling myself that I will, but I don't like spending money on stuff and just trying it out. But they do have Tropicana if you want Tropicana, right? And then you have the Florida natural stuff. But there's the Tropicana if you want it. That Tropicana is going to cost you like 425 pesos. So that's like $7 for what looks like less than a half a gallon to me, right? It looks like a quart or something like that. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay 3-4 times sometimes for some of the brands that you would get that are considered American brands, and there is your Florida natural stuff. I'm sure that's going to cost you just as much. But here's the thing, guys. Orange juice, it's orange juice. It's orange juice. It's all about taste, at the end of the day. Because when you look at the backside of orange juice, you think what you're getting is what's on the front, where it says 100% orange juice. And this one says it too, 100% orange juice. In this whole thing, they might put 2 or 3 ounces, 4 ounces tops of 100% orange juice. So technically, they're selling you 100% orange juice, only 4 ounces. The rest of the stuff is water and filler, and a whole lot of fructose corn syrup, right? It's actually you can drink a Coca-Cola a lot of times and be better off. I'm just being honest with you. Now, I bought this one because I drink it I'll get them every once in a while, but I don't drink it every day. This thing might last me 3 weeks, but you can sometimes just be better off drinking a Coca-Cola when you consider the actual amount of sugar. If you don't believe me, turn over the backside and look at how much sugar is in those things. Okay, so we can get dairy products. So if you guys do stuff like yogurt and stuff like that, I personally don't. I don't do well with what's it called, dairy products. So you can get all of that stuff there. What that down there looks like milk. I don't really drink milk, so that might be milk. I doubt it, because they don't refrigerate milk down here. They don't pasteurize their milk, so they can just leave it on the shelf at room temperature and it won't spoil. Our milk in the States is pasteurized. Maybe if you're watching from Canada, Europe, and some other places in the world, let me know, is your milk pasteurized the way it is in the U.S. so that you have to refrigerate it? If you notice, their eggs are not pasteurized and they're just sitting out there on the shelf all day, every day. They're not going to go bad. Because, if you think about eggs in the hen house, they don't have to grab the eggs and run in the house and throw them in the refrigerator. They can sit out there for a few days and they'll be just fine. But we pasteurize them so that they spoil, so that we have to eat them and buy more. That's my thinking. But I'm thinking they do this, maybe if this is milk, and I'm going to check the next time I go to the grocery store. I never think about it because I don't buy milk really. But if this is milk, it's just for us. But I don't think that it will have a very long shelf life, because once you pasteurize it, the shelf life is going to be shortened anyway. So if you buy it, if it doesn't have a expiration date on it, be careful. Moving right along, we have margarine. Now, I haven't seen butter down here, although I've looked for it. He's buying the Walla brand because it's cheaper, right? And Dominicans really do. And they look at the prices on this stuff and go, who's going to spend $1 for this stuff? That's $1, and that's not a local brand. So that's going to be what, almost $1.40 or somewhere thereabouts. But this one right here, Flora, this is going to cost you about 230 pesos for that. So be careful what you're buying down here, guys, because if you're not careful, you can spend more money for food down here. If you're not careful, then you might spend in the U.S. So you need to shop carefully. You can buy name brands, but buy them on sale and find the local brands that suit your palate, right? And that suit your taste, right? Ice cream, right? Ice cream is a big thing in my life, or it has been for a long time. And here's Walla again, $1.74. Looks good. But like I said, I bought this stuff one time just to test it out. I ate 1 spoonful and I threw the rest away. End of story. Now, Bone, which is French, which means good, but it's cheaper, and I don't think this is French. Maybe it is, but it's more than Walla and less than American name brands. This is like 235 pesos, so that's about $4 for this, and that's a little over a pint. Because we're going to go to a pint size in the next refrigerator at the next store, which is Haagen-Dazs. Now that was 235 pesos thereabouts. Then we have Haagen-Dazs. Then we open up this thing here and take a look at this Haagen-Dazs. It is much smaller, right? And because Haagen-Dazs, they're awfully proud of their ice cream over at Haagen-Dazs, and this is like 430 pesos. And divide that by 6, and that's going to put you at about $7 for that little bitty thing of Haagen-Dazs. Now, again, I shop at various stores, and I come here for certain things, but there's also a grocery store called Supermercado Nacional, and if you guys want, I can take you to that one in another video. But it is more like an upscale grocery store that you might visit when you're in the States. And so at that grocery store, They have Haagen-Dazs, but they also have Baskin and Robbins. And Baskin and Robbins is it's like another, name brand or whatever you want to call it, ice cream, right? But you would get about 2.5 as much ice cream as you have here, more like 3 times as much, because it's like 2.5 times the size of the bone ice cream. But for that one, you're going to pay 700 pesos or somewhere thereabouts, roughly like 10, 12 bucks, something like that. And I think of that as expensive because I'm used to buying, when I was back home, I would eat, what's it called? Bluebell ice cream. And my favorite was butter pecan. Butter pecan, bluebell ice cream. Oh, I missed you. I need to write a strong letter to the CEO of Bluebell because I think they would make a mint if they would ship their ice cream down here. Anyway, so I would buy the Baskin and Robbins and I would spend I guess it's like $11, $12 for like 2.5, 3 pints of that stuff, right? And I thought of it as being expensive, but the last time I went to Haagen-Dazs, which was like several years ago, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago. It's been a while. I bought like 2 scoops of ice cream there, and it cost me like $5 or some amount like that. And so it's not a place that I would just go and just eat every day. But who do you see an ice cream every day? But I thought of that as expensive. But then when I thought about it, I said, well, wait a minute. Two scoops costing me $4 or $5, as opposed to like 2.5, 3 pints costing me $10, $12. I think I'm getting a better buy here on that at least. So, and maybe it's more there because of the labor and all that, because you got people that actually scooping it and you got to pay them by the hour, so they run up the price. Frozen vegetables, mixed frozen corn or frozen peas or whatever, beans or whatever. You can get those here and you can see the prices on those. Okay, so they do have processed food here for you if that is what you are into. You will pay more for it because, it's processed. Down here, processed food, it's going to cost you more when it's name brand. Now, I do buy these frozen fruits here, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, because I use them to make a lot of smoothies. Ice cream is expensive, and this is a much more cost-effective fruit or dessert than eating ice cream. Throw these together, throw them in the blender with a couple of oranges, and voila. You got yourself a really nice smoothie. Maybe if you want it a little bit sweetened, you can throw some honey over in there maybe. No sugar. Stay away from the sugar. Honey's sweet enough, okay? Honey's good enough, okay? And you don't want to put too much of that in there. Anyway, you can get this one right here for this bag for like, there we go. No, that's for the smaller bag. The bigger one, we're going to see it in just, if I move there we go, 398 pesos. So 400 pesos. That's going to be like $6 or somewhere thereabouts for a big bag. That's a smaller bag, 108 pesos. So you can get those and make smoothies every day if you want to. And like I say, it's a much cheaper option than doing ice cream and a much healthier option than doing ice cream as well. You can eat all of that you want and you won't gain weight, because fruit's fine, all right? We're made to eat fruit. We're not really made to eat sugar. Sugar's made, processed, it's created. Anyway, meats. Now, when it comes to these meats, guys, they are kind of scarce in the morning right now because they know people aren't out shopping. You can see the butcher over there. If you come a little bit later when all the ladies are in here, that thing's packed. And so is this area here. But I just came here to show you guys what it would cost because I'll buy this sometimes like a pack of 5 legs. I only buy the legs because it's easier to cook. And as you can see right here, you can buy a pack of legs for 160 pesos. So that's a little under $3. This one looks a little like it's been out there for a while. But here's the thing. The ladies come in really on Fridays and Saturdays and a little bit on Sundays. And when you come on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the butcher, he's got everything out there. The baker, he's got everything out there because they know that this is when these ladies are going to be coming in. And so it's a lot fresher at that time. That meat might have been sitting there since Thursday. And these ladies, they're in there, they're clamoring because the women really do all the cooking in the homes. These men, they don't cook anything, right? And if you have a woman and you live down here and you try to cook something, she's going to wonder what you're doing in her kitchen. You need to get out of here, right? But they have the bread out here fresh every day. But there is a bakery right down the street from where we are right here. I haven't been there yet. I need to go because I'm told the bakery bread is even fresher than this bread. This bread here I checked out. It felt a little hard, and so you got to be careful about that when it comes to this bread here that's shipped in. The bread that they package here is going to be fresher because supposedly they bake it here, but they'll tell you it's always fresh, and it's not always fresh. But I saw this Asian lady here. She was checking out the bread, and so I thought, well, let me go ahead and check out some myself, right? So I did, because sometimes I'll look at it, and I don't eat bread, guys. Let me say this: I don't really eat a lot of bread. Okay, I bought some of this bread because it was really, really soft, and as it turns out, it was really fresh. But this is the first time I bought bread since like April or May. Let's call it May. So we'll look at June, July, August, September, October. 6 months since I bought bread. So 6 months I haven't eaten any bread, and I threw all my sugar. I don't buy sugar either. So I've been 6 months without sugar and bread. And if I'm being honest, guys, I've lost about 40 pounds. So we're gonna go over that at some point. So yeah, there's another reason outside of the hospital thing that I'm gonna do. I did a follow up on that. I'm gonna do a follow up on that because I visited the hospital today. It's Wednesday, by the way. I recorded or I videotaped this on Sunday, but I visited the hospital today because I wanted to check on some things. So I have some very, very important stuff that I need to share with you on that. So there's a good reason for you to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and hit the notification button too, so that you're notified the next time I do these videos and you are updated whenever something comes out. But I did buy this bread, and because I haven't eaten bread in months, I haven't eaten sugar in months, I've lost 40 pounds. I'm going to share with you how that has gone and how I did it. Now, I bought this, and I've already thrown the rest of it away because I would eat one a day and with dinner or something like that with dinner. So I ate one Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I ate 3. I may have eaten one other, and the rest I threw in the trash last night because I don't want to be eating bread every day. And it was only $1, so it was, look, they eat a lot of bread down here. It's really costly, and so you're going to see that they have, these kind of guts and these waste, on the side. They have these love handles. A lot of people, because they eat a lot of bread, because bread is filling and it's cheap, but it's carbohydrates, right? And your body sees that as sugar. So when you eat a slice of bread, you're eating a slice of sugar. Just, that's the way your body is processing it, and that's the way your pancreas is processing it too. So, just word of, caution, word to the wise. So I don't eat pastries, but I'll just show you guys that they have them. But I did buy this. Now, I did get this. This thing is like 425 pesos, which is like $7. And I think they're like 5 or 6 back at home in the States, right? So, you'll see the price here in a minute. But just a roasted chicken because I didn't feel like cooking, right? So I just picked it up, buy it, have some vegetables with it. And that night I had one of those buns of bread, and, that was it. Cheese. Now, I don't really believe that this is real cheese. And you all tell me, is this real cheese? These slices of Kraft cheese? Because I hadn't bought it in years, but the last time I bought it, I tried, and it was years ago, I tried to just eat one slice. I was like, this don't taste like regular cheese, but it's stuff people put on their bread or their sandwiches with, lunch meat or whatever, which is also a no-no. But anyway, you can get your shredded cheese and all that, which is the most expensive way to buy cheese, shredded cheese. Chop it up yourself and save money. You see, you have the Kraft brick of cheese over here too. But I just buy the Crystal Farms because I only need it for my omelets. I bought the bell peppers. I have onions already. I needed to make an omelet. I didn't have any cheese either, so I need to get to the store, and this is why I came, is to get those things. And so I'm not doing a big haul. I buy a few things and I keep it moving. I don't eat a lot of food. I do breakfast, a handful of fruit for a lunch, and then a healthy dinner, and then I'm on my way. Alcoholic beverages, for those of you who indulge, there you can see 2,350 pesos. Divide that by 60, guys, and you'll know about what that would be about what, $40 for a bottle of Johnny Walker. Is that a good price? I don't know. Tell me, guys, is $40 a good price for Johnny Walker? What are you paying right there for Johnny? That's Johnny Walker Black. Which is better, Johnny Walker Black or Johnny Walker Red? I haven't had a shot of scotch in a long. I think that's scotch. Is that scotch? I think it's scotch. Yeah, it's been years for me. But you can see, if you need to get your, what is that? Is that Patron? I think, yeah, I think that's Patron. I know Patron was really popular a few years ago. A lot of the rappers were talking about it. Don Julio is here for you. You can see you have your Tanqueray. We're going to go up top and get what I know you guys like. Ta-da! Hennessy. Okay, so for you cognac drinkers, you got that. There's your Grand Marnier. And I think we're going to grab, is it Courvoisier or what is it? It's Remy Martin. They have Remy Martin down here. I didn't see Courvoisier, but they have Remy Martin VSOP, and you can see they have to put on the premiums. You can see those little locks or those little things that'll notify them if you try to make it out of the store with it, because people got to get their drink on, and they can't always afford it. So there you go, guys. But like I said, I'm not, I haven't had, since I've been down here, I've probably had 4 beers, right, in 8 months. So I'm not really a drinker. I have one on occasion. I had one at a nice dinner when I first got here. That's more Johnny Walker Black and Johnny Walker Red. Had a beer at the lake about a month or so ago. That was the last one I had. And I've had two glasses of wine since I've been here. Speaking of wine, here's your wine, guys. They don't have in this store, they didn't have, that was like 400 pesos. They don't have real expensive wine in here at this store. Even for this Behringer's. Behringer's is not a premium wine. It's like a grocery store wine, I'm in a grocery store. But you can get it if you just want to get a cheap glass of wine and to impress somebody, just to say that you have wine in the house. You can get those. You can see 500 pesos. That's about, $9 for that. If we keep it moving, you can see that now this one's going to cost you a little bit more. There's what's his name? What's that rapper's name? Snoop Dogg. Yeah, well, he's not really rapping anymore, but 1,300 pesos for his. So he's kind of proud of his relative to what everybody else is charging for theirs. But I just wanted to share these things with you guys. I'm going to share with you the rest of the wines, and what we're going to do now is we're going to take it back to the crib, and that'll be it for this. So there you have it, guys. A quick run to the grocery store and a very small haul. So I'm going to go over with you what we bought. Just a few things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 things, not much, and the actual cost. So let's take a look at that. Here we go. Let's see if we can reverse this camera. My camera don't like to reverse when I touch it, but anyway. So all we got here was the orange juice, and I looked at the Tropicana, as you saw, and it was a lot more expensive. So I don't buy it. And orange juice is orange juice, guys. None of it is good for you unless you squeeze it yourself. But every once in a while, I just want to pour some. So if you just want to do that, fine. But you don't need to buy the more expensive ones because they're all just sugar water with the taste of orange. And the watermelon and the couple of things of tea, there's 10 bags each in there. The bell peppers for my breakfast in the morning, oranges for, well, just any time of the day. The cheese, I think I had that I did have that on the list. I did have the broiled, or whatever, the roasted chicken on the list. And I think you can get those back home also, but they're a little bit less at home. Here I'm paying, right at about $7.50, $8 for that thing. Well, divide that by 6. Yeah, that'd be about $7 for that thing. And then the bread, I didn't have that on my list at all, but there's about 10 buns in there, and they were just a lot softer, so they seemed fresh. I figured I'd give them a try, but I never eat bread. This is actually the first time I've bought bread since probably April. So that's May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 7 months. It's been 7 months since I bought bread. And of course, there's my water. Now this isn't part of the shopping thing, but the grocery shopping thing, but I do buy my water this way. I have it delivered, and the guy will bring me 2 of these big, I don't know, what are they, like 3 gallons or whatever, and 2 of them will cost me like 300 pesos, so I give him like 5 to tip the little guy when he brings them, because he's out there on his little motor scooter trying to deliver these things and make a living, so I try to tip him pretty well. But anyway, so I buy those things, once a week or whatever. But anyway, so there's the haul. Now, here's the thing. What did all this cost? Let's see. Let's get the receipt over here. And as you can see, if you can see, we'll get a little bit closer. And there are all the prices. I'm not going to go over those individually. You can see what I bought, and you can see what the price is right there. It is 1,442 pesos. And if you divide that by 60 pesos, that would be about $24 worth of stuff there. So all of that right there cost me 24 bucks. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit less. Maybe it's a little bit more than what you would spend in the U.S. But it doesn't matter. I'm here now, and this is what we're buying. So listen, guys, I want to thank you for joining me here again at the. So until next time, guys, it's your life, so make it a good one.